can make guaranteed profit in the NBA, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Now, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you smash that like button because it gets it out there to the right people so everybody can see exactly how we can beat the books day in and day out. So the first thing that we're going to talk about right now is going to be what games you're looking at. So what you want to do is you want to go through an NBA slate and find games on the spread that are -2 or less. So you're looking for games that are pretty much going to be projected to be close games. So -2 or less, that is the games you want to target. You're going to go through, write down, and make a list of that. Number 2, both teams that you're looking at here in that matchup, both teams need to be bottom 10 in defense efficiency. The reason why for this is because the concept that we're looking here is we don't want a mismatch here on defense. We don't want one team to be extremely better than the other, but the point spread didn't reflect that. We want two defenses that are lackluster that aren't that good. Okay, just so that way they're susceptible to scoring on both ends. Now let's go ahead and move on to number 3. So the first thing you're going to do when you're about to place the bet here, you are going to bet on the favorite on the money line. All right, so the money line in this game at -2 probably is going to be like somewhere between like probably -140. All right, the reason why you're going to just do this pregame and you're going to bet the favorite is so that way if somehow the favorite just comes out and just starts blowing them out, that you're covered here. You have your base here where you pick the favorite. If they come out and it's a mismatch, but it wasn't on paper, next thing you know, they just take off. All right, well, you're just rolling with that then, right? So what you would do is you're just going to bet on the favorite at -140-ish because that's probably around what it would be at. So that's just an insurance bet pretty much pre-game. This isn't really what we're actually going to be doing throughout the whole entire game. Now, the only way you end up losing this is through the underdog, for some reason, comes out the gate and just absolutely blows out the other team, which happens in rare cases. So, again, bet on the favorite on the money line pre-game. I'll write that down. Pre-game, so that way you guys understand that. Now let's go ahead and get to number 4. After the first quarter, we need the teams to be within 5 points or less of each other. Okay, so this ensures that one team is not just running away with it. They're not up by 10, 15 points after the first quarter. Make sure it's 5 or less. Okay, if that fits that criteria, then we're in business. Then we're going to be able to actually put our bets in live. That's going to make you a guaranteed profit. Now let's move on to step 5. At the end of that first quarter, what we're going to do is now we're going to bet the underdog. So the underdog after the first quarter, let's say it's a 3-point game, 4-point game. That line should look like this. It should be about like 150-ish. All right, it should be about plus 150. So what you're going to do is you're going to bet the underdog. Let's go ahead and roll through exactly how we're going to do this live, because this is going to be a live betting strategy now, because now we're not worried about anything but what's going on live in the game. So you're going to bet the underdog. And basketball, especially the NBA, is a game of runs. When a game is close, where the matchup is close, game of runs. So one team might go up by 5, 10 points, and the other team will come back, they'll go up by 5, 10 points. Then another team will go by 5, then the other team will go by 5. That's how the game flow happens throughout the game. When you have two teams that have a bottom tier defense that are not a stout defense that's going to shut the other one out, they're going to be susceptible to runs. All right, so that's what we're banking on here to get us a guaranteed profit. So we bet the underdog plus 150. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the underdog now on the other side for the favorite to take over. Okay, and what you do there is once the favorite goes on a run, now guess what happens? We're going to flip-flop here. The underdog goes on a run, then the underdog becomes the favorite, and then the favorite becomes the underdog. So what happens here is now when the other team goes on a run, you'll get a live line of, let's just make this even, 150 per se on the other side. So now you would go and you'd bet the opposite side here. Now, there are some things that you have to make sure that you're doing when you do this. You have to use at least 2 to 3 sportsbooks. You have to. You cannot place bets on both sides the same sportsbook. You will get banned. They will take your account off. They do not like you doing that. So you have to use 2 separate sportsbooks, maybe even 3 to be safe. All right? So what you're doing now is you're betting both sides. So now let's take a look exactly what that looks like on paper of what you just did in a live bet. So let's say that the Thunder are playing the Rockets. Let's say this fits the criteria, okay? Fits the criteria of what we just went through. So what would happen in this game is, let's say the line was -2. what would happen in this game was at one point you would get the Rockets at plus 150. Now these are just using base numbers, all right? I'm just using even numbers here to just make it simple so you guys can understand. So you get 150 on the Rockets here. Now, next thing you know, the Rockets go on a run mid-game. The Thunder flip-flops. The Thunder are down by 3 or 4 points. Now, the Thunder you get at plus 150. Okay? Now, this is in the middle of the game. You get plus 150 there, plus 150 there. You could do this multiple times within the same game, where you could keep literally insuring yourself more and more money. Okay? So, for example, let's just say we did $1,000 a piece here. So if we did $1,000 on the Rockets at plus 150, and we did $1,000 on the Thunder plus 150, what is our payout going to be? Our payout's going to be $2,500 here and $2,500 here. So now, no matter who wins in this game, we've netted a $500 profit. Why? Because we bet both sides of the game. We got both sides at plus money. We were able to get them on a run. Now, again, at the beginning of the game, you bet the favorite pre-game. To ensure that you do it the right way and the correct way, and you still set yourself up for profit. If, for example, like here, if you're doing $1,000 a piece, you would only take $250 and put it on that favorite pregame. All right, so that way you're not killing your profit. Because now, if you put $1,000 on the favorite, but then the favorite in the pregame doesn't win the game, yeah, maybe you get a for sure money here, but then that's going to be taken away by that pregame bet. So you're only going to be putting, for example, like I said, if you're doing $1,000 a piece, you'd only be doing $250. Now you adjust this accordingly to what your unit size is and how much you're going to be betting. But I'm just using this as an example, so that way you can see. It's the easiest example to use. So $250 on the favorite pregame, then $1,000 each way during the game, trying to get plus 150. Sometimes you can get even better. I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes they go on runs where they're up 8-10 points, and you can literally get plus 200 on both sides when two defenses aren't good and they're susceptible to all those runs within the game. So that just makes your profit margin even more, your guaranteed profit margin. But this is how you can guarantee yourself a profit betting in an NBA game. Because all you have to do is be able to sit, watch, and adjust the numbers accordingly to the money line, so that way you see exactly when you have a favorable matchup on both sides and you're getting plus money on both sides. Now, once you're getting plus money on both sides, you bet each side, and then you have a guaranteed profit there. And like I said, your pregame, $250, that's for an insurance. That's pretty much an insurance bet. So if the favorite goes on, they end up, just running away. Now, another thing is the insurance bet. If the underdog somehow starts the game and takes off, now you haven't lost $1,000 in the game. You've only lost $250. Okay? And sometimes, like I said, in rare cases, that could happen. But besides that, that is where you would get a guaranteed profit betting in the NBA.